going on? Chris Ramsay here, welcome back. It's Monday, so you know what that means. Monday is time for another tutorial, and today I have something very special for you. This is something that I've sort of done in my lectures and I've performed a few times. It really fools magicians mainly, so if you're looking to fool your magician friends, this is a go-to. For good reason, because it kind of leaves you with you can't really reconstruct what the heck just happened. Basically, you're going to be able to produce a small object at the tip of your fingers. This also may lack a little bit of justification on your behalf, so it's up to you to find that justification. This is just a move. It's a cool little thing and it's kind of interesting. So before I get into this, the inspiration for this comes from Bobo's coin magic. This used to be done also in Bobo's, and I'll get into that, but in a different way with a coin. Then adapted by Branden Wolf, a good friend of mine, an excellent coin magician, done with a sharpie as well. And then Mckinnon also did something similar but used a ring, and now I've combined all of that and come up with a different routine using it. So let's get into it right now. Thanks for watching. All right, so for this you're going to need a few objects if you like. It all depends on what you want to perform this with. I prefer doing it with a ring, so if you don't have a ring, get yourself one of these bad boys. This here is a Walking Liberty $50, which was crushed into a ring, which is super magical in itself. So if you have a $50, you can do the karate coin using a coin ring, which is kind of cool. I picked these up online. I'll drop a link below where you can shop these yourself. They're not that expensive and they're perfect for magic. Any type of ring magic that I do, this is what I use. It's an interesting conversation piece. If I ask them to examine it, they immediately say, what is this? And I tell them about it, which is super interesting. So it's a fun thing. I've lost like 3 of these performing, so I don't really care because I'll just buy another one. They're not that expensive. They're pretty abundant. But if you don't have this, use a different type of ring. The thing is, you're going to need a ring that has a little bit of width to it, a little bit of thickness, but that doesn't have like one side bigger than the other, like a bit like this one. You know, this one wouldn't work really. Wedding band, that type of thing. If you don't have that, don't fret. You can also do this with a lighter, a folded card, a matchbook, or any small item that you want to produce. All right, let's get into the technique. All right guys, so the whole secret to this thing relies heavily on one particular sneaky little pocket, which is not actually a pocket. And what you're going to do is you're going to take the ring or whatever small object it is, you're going to put it just above your kneecap, and you're going to fold it in to the crease, pushing it up like that, using all my fingers to create this really long crease that is going to hold the ring there if my leg is straight. So now once that's done, I can't walk around much, I can't jig, but I can stand here. Now, noted that the tighter your pants, so if you're wearing skinny jeans, this will definitely work a lot better. But as you can see, my pants are pretty loose and it still works. I can still end up producing the ring right here. Now, there's a little bit of physics happening right here, which is kind of cool. As the ring is placed here in the fold, right, I can do this while I'm sitting, and then I can go and stand up and I'm good. As soon as my knee lifts up, this fold will fold back and you will start to see that ring. Watch this here. It might fall because my hand's not there to catch it, but I'm gonna sort of let it do it by itself. See as it pops out? So basically, all you have to do is lift your leg. Once that's in there, and like I said, you can make this crease, don't make the crease too high. If you make the crease too high, it's going to get stuck. It will not come out. You need it to be right above the kneecap is where you place the ring. Fold it over, and then you can give it like this line here, right? Once you give it that line, you're good to stand. This moves up under your hand, and you can give it a little bit of a rub, and it'll appear on your kneecap. So that's the basic foundation of this. Now, here, let me turn the camera up. Here a second. This particular thing basically was taught in Bobo, but in Bobo they did it the opposite way. It was because they wore dress pants back then and not skinny jeans, they wouldn't hold as much. And so the fold was done this way. And you had sort of like an impromptu pocket, which is cool. And then he would produce it out of his fake pocket, and then he would pretend to put it back and steal it out. Yeah. And also with a ring, because it's a lot thicker, it'll hold nicely. A coin is thinner, so you couldn't do this with a coin because it would slip out. That's why they did it this way and kind of had this little pocket here, and it just kind of held there, and they would pull at the fiber like this, which is kind of cool. But for this demonstration, we flip it under. There are different ways to produce this. One way is to simply, I like to grab like an invisible ring, or if you want to do it with a lighter, you can do that. You grab it with a ring, you move it your hand to hand. The only reason I'm moving it hand to hand like this, invisibly without the ring, so while the ring is here and I'm doing this and playing around with it, because I want to show them my hands are empty without going, look, my hands are empty, right? You can do that, but I mean, if you want to make it a little bit more magical, you can just kind of like, you guys see this ring? You know, you show them here, and it shows that your hands are empty, so you don't have to justify that fact. After that's done, boom, you got it. Produce it on the knee, Here you go. It's an impossible appearance. So that variation there is very simple, very easy to execute. But what I like to add to this is the vanishing of a pen. So if I put this back into the fold, I borrow or produce or grab a Sharpie. What you can do here is you can do the Sharpie vanish, which is taught in my other Sharpie video. You guys can go and check that out. Let me focus here. So you can grab the Sharpie, and as you vanish it, your knee is going to pop up, and if you do it quick enough, the ring will fly into the air, or the object. It'll tend to fly towards this side, so towards the inside. So if I do it here, boom, and it produces here, so it just comes off, and meanwhile I have the Sharpie here. So I've just done a flip stick vanish as this appears. Now, this move itself looks a lot like what Merrill does. So Merrill is a fantastic sleight of hand magician who does a lot of sleight of hand with ordinary objects such as coins, Sharpies, you know, that type of thing. And he's actually won FISM. It's an incredible video to watch his sleight of hand at work. I'll actually leave the link below because it's an interesting watch for you guys. But he does sort of this move as well, only Rick does it, you know, through sleight of hand, so he doesn't have that crease there. He does it in a different way, which I'm not gonna get into. It's very interesting. So this is basically like a take on what Merrill did, but instead you're already set up, you're already ready. So you can grab a marker off the table, boom, and then produce a ring or a lighter or whatever. So let's say you are using a lighter. Same thing with the lighter, right above the kneecap, you're gonna fold it under, and you're just gonna leave it there. So as long as your leg's straight, I said skinny jeans obviously helps, but if you don't have them, it's not that bad either. It really isn't. Jeans is a good fabric because it's textured and sort of rugged and has some friction, but that'll hold there. And so now if I want, I can change this Sharpie into a lighter and just like that, right? And obviously I've concealed the Sharpie over here. And remember, to learn more about that Sharpie vanish, check out the other video I did and it'll teach you that there. If you're at a bar or a restaurant or something, you're just standing outside and you're in the smoking section, somebody wants a lighter, you can do this old trick. So all I'm doing with my mouth is going, what's this? Kind of like you're calling a cat. But if you do that sound with this, the audible illusion creates the illusion that you have a lighter. So if you go up to somebody and say, do you have a lighter? You say, yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. And then they're like, ah, ha, ha, whatever. You're like, oh no, here we go. I've got one right on my knee here. Now that is an amazing magical moment where they did not expect magic. And I talk about this a lot. I talk about impromptu magic, you know, the sort of magic that if they don't know you're a magician or if they do know you're a magician, because there's two types of impromptu magic. The type that they don't know you're a magician is really powerful. So that comes off as a gag, this whole thing, right? Looks like you have a lighter and then it disappears. So they thought you had a lighter, or you're just making a sound or whatever. And now your hands are empty because you've shown them that you don't have a lighter. So you're already justified, you don't have to explain. And then you can just boom, produce it on your leg and hand out that lighter, which is super magical. So that's a lot of fun too. You can also do it with a folded card. A friend of mine, Blake Voigt, has a card, basically a freely named card called the Invisible Card, and it is their card that they freely chose. So a single card is shown, and if you have that gimmick, it's available at Theory 11. You can have that produced on the end of your knee, and Blake showed me that when I showed that to him, that little appearance, he showed me that right away, and I was like, that's great, that's a great use for it. It's up to you to really play around with this, sort of come up with whatever you want to come up with. You can have small objects. Maybe let me know down in the comments below, which objects would you produce out of thin air, and why would you produce them? What is the justification for it? Because I think that's one of the main struggles about this effect is, I like the lighter part, but still the knee, you're coming to the knee, like what is that? Right? Why are you coming to the knee? And there's got to be a justification for that. The Sharpie gives it a good justification because it's kind of a magical action that's happening. But maybe if you guys can figure out what type of small object you would produce and why you would produce it, like which effect would you use it for, which effect would you string in together. These are all types of things that I think about. Maybe you guys have some good ideas you can hit me up with. So I think that's about it. All right, guys, thanks so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. This is one of my favorite productions, one of my favorite magical appearances of an object, especially a ring. It leaves people really without any explanation. It looks really magical, and it's great to perform. You can do this surrounded. You can do this for anybody, really. So have fun with that, and hope you enjoyed this video. Hit the like button if you did. I do appreciate it. It means a lot, and it helps this channel out. And if you aren't subscribed, what are you waiting for? Like, really? If this video isn't enough to convince you to subscribe to this channel, appreciate you. All right, guys, that's it for me. We'll see you later this week with some more videos.